Hello everyone. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about what makes a full stack developer, or what is that can make a developer into a full stack developer. So basically, in this video, we will be discussing front end, back end, database APIs, and a bit of shell. So if you know all this stuff, or at least around 30 to 40% of all these things which we are talking about here, that makes you a full stack developer. So a developer should be knowing all these facts like front end, back end, database APIs, and a bit of shell. Then only a developer could become a developer actually. So in the front end technology, what all are the steps are there? This consists of what you see on screen. Like you can see many different stuffs on the screen, right? So this is what it is that you can see on the screen is the front end. For example, HTML is a front end stuff. CSS is a front end stuff, fonts, color, JavaScript, whatever basically you can see in the front of the screen or in the screen is actually basically a front end. So backend, the business logic which is been written in the backend is what we call it as a backend. Like it decides what you have to see on the screen. For example, an upload button. So whether you should see the upload button on the front end or not is being decided by backend. How the button should be shown and what is the button has to be. All those stuff. This is been written using Node.js, PHP, Haskell, Python, Golang, Java, or many other stuffs like Plutus or Solidity and things like that. There are many things is there in the backend that the where the business logic is been written is known as backend. And the databases layer is where the data is been stored. For example, name, email ID, phone number somebody entered in the front end and the back end has been fetched those data. Now this data has to be stored somewhere in order to utilize it later stages. That is why the databases are there. Like there are multiple databases like SQL. SQL is a structured query language, like is a relational database, and MongoDB where it is everything comes as a records. There is no relationships inside the MongoDB. Like we could actually make relationship, but everything is been stored in the MongoDB as records. And the TitanDB is basically like a GraphQL. Like if you are familiar with the tree structure, you would be knowing what is a Titan is. It's like a tree where you could travel from one node to another, and based on that the data is being fetched and manipulated on the screen. This is what the Titan is working. This is how the Titan is working. And APIs, basically this concept, like if you are well familiar with how two different applications communicate each other. For example, like you have advertisement like double click for publishers, or the Google AdSense is there, and it has some APIs, and these APIs has to be communicated with the front end. How this happens, and this is how it happens. Like so how the interconnectivity of the applications has to work. This is being achieved via APIs. Then shell and the Git. This is the two important stuffs a full stack developer should be knowing. Git is something like a developer will be using every day on their life, and shell script like Golang and things like that. If you install some repository, if you want to install some repository, if you want to delete some repository, if you want to work with IPFS, all those stuffs you should be knowing a bit of shell script. Then only you will be able to do the things in the internet. And I deliberately written here Windows is for losses. See, like in Windows you wouldn't be able to install many repos and stuffs like that. I'm completely against Windows. Like there we are actually not so good with the Windows. Windows is like it's basically utilize you, and that is not the thing. in Linux, basically entire internet is running on the Linux. So using any kind of Linux based OS will actually achieve you actually make you far better in the development cycle. So thank you for watching.